This is the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abish, founder of Abish Financial Services.
And I'm Heather Branch here with Abe to ask for his ideas on ways to better prepare for your financial future. TheRetirementKey.com is where you can go to start your own conversation with Abe and his team at Abish Financial Services. We also have links posted in the show notes, or again, just visit us anytime at TheRetirementKey.com. Abe, it's that time of year when we have all different kinds of things on the brain. For me, I can't help. Every year, I feel like the amount of gifting that has to happen, it just continues to go up and up. And there's more responsibility. There was even actually, I think it was one news story that I read, this whole concept of guilt tipping now and how much you're expected to give to people. And at some point, you have to stop and take a look at yourself in the mirror and say, all right, I'm not helping anybody if I end up with no money by the end of the Christmas season.
And forget about it if you go to a resort. If you go to one of these resorts, there's like all kinds of surcharges added. I mean, you've got gratuity, and then you've got resort fee, and you've got the pandemic fee, and all this type of stuff.
Are you still seeing pandemic fees on your bills?
Well, I'm joking now, but
that was a real thing.
Oh, absolutely, it was. Yeah, so forget about it at the resorts. There's all kinds of surcharges, but. Yeah, thanks for the reminder on the gifting thing. Holiday season is just around the corner.
It's that time of year.
And, yeah, I better get on it. That way I have a happy spouse during the holiday season.
Oh, my gosh. You know what? I forgot. I feel like we talked about this last year. It's about that time I need to be reminding you. Don't forget. Now you got to shop for Shelly so that you don't have to wrap a picture of the gift that's late on delivery.
All men listening right now, here is your annual reminder.
Your concern.
The holidays are coming. They're close by. Get your shopping done.
There you go. Consider this your fair warning, ladies and gentlemen, if we're being honest with ourselves. I know lots of ladies that procrastinate as well, Abe. All right. Well, hopefully, for those of us worried about money and thinking about money as we always are, you have done some good recovery this year from the market losses that so many of us suffered in 2022. But lately, we've still been hearing the word correction a lot, Abe. And when it comes to the stock market, it just never sounds good. First of all, let's just clarify. What is a correction? Are we in one? And is there anything positive that we can do in the meantime when it comes to our retirement portfolios?
Yeah. So Heather, corrections take place when the markets experience a drop of at least 10% from their most recent peaks, from their last highs. And it's typically a sign that investors are skeptical of what lies ahead in the stock market. And just recently, the NASDAQ index specifically just did enter into correction territory. Not sure if it's in one right now, but it just did breach correction territory, a drop, a pullback of 10% or more.
Okay.
And man, there is a lot of things going on right now. You got a couple wars. You've got interest rate and inflation stories still probably most prevalent, and probably the biggest reasons for the markets going up or down. A lot of downward pressure right now on the markets with everything going on. One really interesting stat, Heather, a lot of people aren't aware of. A lot of people know that most of the markets are up this year because of the Magnificent Seven, Tesla, NVIDIA, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. And if you subtract out those 7 to 8 companies, we have very little growth this year in 2023. But a lot of people don't know that where the S&P is valued today, it's around 43.50 or 43.20. We got to go back to July of 21 when the S&P 500 was at this current value it is today. That means that the last 27 to 28 months, the S&P hasn't gone anywhere.
Okay.
It's flat. Now, it's gone a lot of places. It's gone up. It's gone down 15 or 20 in 2022, up 10 or 15 in 2023. But when you look back at the last 27, 28 months, it is flat. We've been in a flat market, except for some of these companies driving the market. So you got to be cautiously optimistic. You've got to be defensive, and you want to keep dry powder on the sidelines and be ready to take advantage of opportunities and protect yourselves on the downside.
Okay, got it. So how do we do that then, Mr. Advisor?
Well, you know what? I believe our firm, and I'm a little biased because I'm the owner of the firm, but I believe our firm, Heather, Abish Financial, is well poised and well positioned to help, especially people that are 55 and older as they're approaching to retirement, really secure and put a moat around their own nest egg, right, at the point of retirement. So important. And I'll say this, I say it a lot of times in our meetings with our clients, but we'll tell our clients, Heather, you can win by not losing. You can win by not losing. You can make traction. You can push your portfolio ahead by not losing. And now with interest rates being up so high, we can go and make 4 to almost 6% guaranteed on a lot of safe instruments. And so we can grow our nest egg through yield now, and these interest rates that are being offered today, which is a great thing for people in their 50s, 60s, and 70s. So we just had a couple call in and come into the show recently, Heather. They're from Fairfax, Virginia. They're in their early 60s, $3 million saved. They're a 6 on our risk scale. They have had no plan. Well, they had a growth plan. Right, they got to $3 million bucks, but no income plan and no plan to transition from their phase 1 working career into their phase 2 retirement. They could be up 25%, down 25%. We did an analysis on all of their investments, and we found out they're going more than 80 miles an hour in their Riskalyze speed limit reports, if you will. When they really want to be going a 60 mile an hour, they want to be a 6 on a scale of 1 to 10. They're an 8, over an 8. We also found out that their portfolio has been very expensive because in 401k, most 401k plans, they're not cheap when it comes to the fund expenses. And they've been paying 0.65% on a lot of their accounts, which is a lot more expensive than they need to be paying. As an example, we can get those expenses down to 0.05 and 0.1, which is
and if you do the math on $3 million,
a lot,
0.65 versus 0.05. Got it.
A lot of savings. And the funds that you're in right now might not be bad or wrong, but you certainly got to look at the cost.
Yep.
Those chip away at the foundation of your return and retirement plan. So what was the solution for them, Heather? It was to reduce the speed and risk in their current nest egg, reduce the expenses in their funds, consolidation. As we were putting together their whole plan, we found out, or the wife found out, that she had an old employer plan, an old 401k type of plan worth almost $450,000. And just from kind of moving from employer to employer.
She had no idea. She forgot about completely?
They totally forgot about it.
Whoa.
So they were reminded of the account when the custodian of the plan reminded them that they just had an address change. It was like an address change notice letter that came in the mail. And they were like, well, wait a minute, we don't have an account there. So they called just to confirm. And the custodian was like, yes, you do. And it's actually almost $450,000. So consolidation is huge. When you're talking about all these accounts spread out all over the place. Just think about it. You've been working for 20 to 30 years, and between the two of you, you could easily have 5, 10, 15 accounts. It gives people added peace of mind. It relieves stress levels when everything's put together under one roof, a well-thought-out, consolidated plan for phase 2. If you're listening right now, we want to offer you, if you sound anything like this couple in Fairfax, and maybe you can benefit from consolidation and just a plan that is going to be more appropriate for this second season and phase of your life, we would like to offer you the same reporting that we offered to this couple, which was a portfolio X-ray and analysis. What are you invested in? How much risk are you taking? What does it cost you? Do you even know? And if you don't know, you need to find out. How would your portfolio hold up in another 2008 if the markets just slip here in the near future, which they easily could? If you've saved enough, you can't and should not be dealing with taking on unnecessary risk. All of this can be found in a portfolio X-ray and analysis like we gave to this couple. So if you're listening right now and you sound like this couple in Fairfax, Virginia, and you've done a good job of saving for your retirement, maybe you can benefit from consolidation. You're not exactly sure what you're invested in, and that portfolio X-ray and analysis sounds of interest to you. Go to our website, theretirementkey.com. Click on the Contact Us tab at the top of the page, and we can begin to offer these same reports and give you that same analysis to you as well.
We also have links posted in the show notes, so if it's more convenient, you can just click there, or again, find us anytime at theretirementkey.com. All right, let's switch over our conversation. Talk a little bit about sports, Mr. Abish. We talk a lot about baseball and football. We don't talk as much about basketball here on the Retirement Key. But when we say the name Magic Johnson, I mean, there isn't anybody in the world that doesn't know exactly who we're talking about.
Sure, of course.
And Forbes recently came out with this information. Apparently, he is worth $1.2 billion. billion with a B, at the age of 64. He is the fourth athlete to cross that $1 billion threshold. But it's interesting because only $40 million of his wealth actually comes from his time on the basketball court, because it turns out he's an MVP in investing as well, Abe. He has made bank from putting money into sports teams, Starbucks, movie theater companies, Burger King's, 24-hour fitness, and he has a controlling stake in an Iowa-based life insurance company. Okay, so we can't do it at Magic Johnson level. Fine. However, it's a great reminder of the power of multiple streams of income. So how can we find our own similar situation and setup for ourselves?
Well, we've got to try to do that to some degree in retirement for ourselves, Heather. So a good example is we just had a couple come in from Haymarket, Virginia. They're in their early 60s, about $1.5 million saved. They're a 7 on our risk scale. So 70% stocks, 30%, safe instruments. Retiring in 7 years, so they got some time to plan. But as we put together the whole plan and analysis, what we found out is that they don't have any pensions, and they have about $1.5 million saved with Social Security, right? So that's it. Social Security checks and $1.5 million saved.
Got it. Yep.
And so that's not a lot of income diversification. When you talk about income streams and having different income streams in retirement, 2 Social Security checks, we could be dealing with Social Security reduction of benefits in 10 short years, and then $1.5 million in the market. Yes, that $1.5 million is going to grow, but currently right now it's all in the stock market. And if they don't change anything and they retire with no changes to the retirement plan in 7 years, all their money will be in the stock market, and they'll be hoping that Social Security will be around the rest of their life without being changed. So they were concerned with that. And so they came in, called into the radio show, came into the office for our comprehensive Where Do I Stand plan. They wanted to know, where do they stand with 7 years in front of them? And they did become clients. That's about 28 to 30 meetings we're going to have with them over the next 7 years, because we offer our clients quarterly reviews.
Okay.
So some of the problems were that we found out that the only guaranteed income they have in their retirement plan is going to be Social Security, no pensions, and just that $1.5 million that they've accumulated. So the solution for them was to start putting together a comprehensive retirement income plan to start chipping away at the income that they need 7 years from now. They're just outside of our retirement red zone. That's that 5-year period of time or less before they fully retire. So they have some time to start chipping away at this. So if you're listening right now, what can you do now to be in a good position then, right? If you have some time, that's great. Take advantage of it. The matching provision on 401ks and TSPs, Roth conversions, making the right Social Security decisions, making sure you're not taking on too much risk, making sure you're not paying too much in fund expenses. All of these things are very important. All of these things will be watched over, paid attention to, analyzed in a comprehensive Where Do I Stand plan, that roadmap, if you will, to make sure you know where you're headed and what the pros and cons are of your current roadmap versus a roadmap that's maybe better suited for a phase 2 retirement. So if you're listening right now and you sound like this couple from Haymarket, Virginia, and you have Social Security, maybe you've got $1 million or $2 million saved, you're not sure exactly what you have saved, where it is, what the pros and cons are, you're looking for a roadmap to help you get that plan in order, to start chipping away at things now, so you're not doing it 6 months before you retire. Go to our website, theretirementkey.com. Click on the Contact Us tab at the top of the page, and we can begin to have these same conversations with you as well.
We also have links posted in the show notes, so if it's more convenient, you can just click there, or again, find us anytime at theretirementkey.com.